On the news tonight, Senator Ovie Omagege appears before Joint Senate and House of Representatives ad hoc committee. In business, Central Bank of Nigeria retains 14% monetary policy rate. And on the foreign scene, Turkey court sentences 104 to life imprisonment over attempt to overthrow constitutional orders. Hello and welcome to Superscreen, the flagship news, broadcasting to you from Lagos, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onka. Many thanks for joining us. Lawmaker representing Delta Senatorial Districts, Senator Ovie Omagege, has appeared before the Joint Senate and House of Representatives ad hoc committee set up to investigate the invasion and May snatching at the Senate chamber on April 18th. During the investigation, the senator insisted he cannot answer questions from the committee on the basis that the matter is in court and that discussing it will amount to sub judice.
As a senator, consistent with the provisions of standing orders, I'm here to inform you that we've gone to court and the parties of the respondent, the suit that I commenced at the Federal High Court, is the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the President of the Senate, Senator Bala, Ibi Nala.
I'm a party there.
Of course you are, sir. Along with all the members of the committee, the clerk of the National Assembly, the Attorney General of the Federation, the Inspector General of Police, and the State Security Service. This action was commenced at the Federal High Court on the 21st day of May 2018, and I have before me proof of service to indicate that all of the parties I just enumerated have all been served. If you have not been served, we even have a proof of service in your office. I can make a copy available to you.
From my office, I have no problem with your action. I have no problem whether I am served or not served. But I think as a colleague, as a friend who is involved in the deepening of our democratic tenets, we should equally gauge the consequence of our action. I will, on my professional position, respect the fact that you are a lawyer, accept the fact that you have gone to court. I have equally read it on the paper that you have gone to court, but I have not been served. Just to put records straight that I have not been served. Accept your own copy, not as service, but for the purpose of putting records to sustain whatever action we take after that.
The Senate has set the standard. What was done to you in the beginning, you went to court and got an injunction. Not just the Senate, but people like me individually advocated that the Senate should respect the verdict of the court, which was very unusual in this country. Parties violate court orders, the executive arms violate court orders, but the Senate has set their procedure for that. On this issue, being invited to explain what your rules are and what you have not done, how many of us are here? What you say here will be part of your history. To stop this, you have the constitutional right to do that, to go to court and ask court for an injunction. But for me, I think you should know that you are part of Nigerian history by the actions you have taken.
As co-chairman of this committee, the Constitution did not give any provisions about stopping our processes by any legal means. That is, we put the various orders in various houses. I think looking at the Constitution and the provisions of the Constitution, we should proceed with this assignment.
In a submission, Commissioner of Police faulted the internal security apparatus attached to the National Assembly, who claimed the video evidence from the CCTV is not available.
The CCTV is supposed to have captured the overall view of what happened from outside to inside. That would have solved the denial of some of these suspects, as well as whoever was alleged to have brought them on this matter, or on the incident that happened, to have been resolved. Because we would have seen how they came into the National Assembly, where they parked their vehicle, who are those that came up from the vehicle before they now moved in. All the interventions on the road before going to the Hello Chamber would have been complete, and we would have assessed and then corroborate whatever evidences we had to strengthen the case if it finally goes on prosecution. We made that observation. Second aspect is that the internal security of the Hello Chamber were left in the hands of the Sergeant at Arm, which ordinarily, for avoidance of this type of situation, at least there should be other security outfits that can be enforced them immediately when there is.
The committee chairman, however, charged the police to unravel the local factors that led to the invasion and also lay recommendations to ensure that such act never happened again. On April 18th, the Delta federal lawmaker allegedly brought in thugs to remove the Senate maze during plenary and was suspended 90 days, which was overturned by the court. The panel had thus shifted the hearing to Tuesday following an extended session held by the Senate last Wednesday for consideration and passage of the 2018 appropriation bill. Ahead of the 2019 election, the coalition of northern groups in Kaduna has asked President Muhammad Buhari and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who were both 70 years of age, not to contest in the elections. The CNG's position was contained in a communique issued shortly after the end of a two-day summit, which was held at the Arewa House, Kaduna. The group said the country should be led by young Nigerians that will take it to the promised land. The group and the national president of the AYCF, Shatima Yarima, said the coalition believes that though it is the right of the president and Atiku to contest, adding that it is now left for Nigerians to decide their fate. Ondo State House of Assembly Deputy Speaker Iroju Ogundeji has been impeached by his colleagues in the House. The impeachment took place during the plenary session on Assembly today. The report says the former Deputy Speaker was removed following some allegations of gross misconduct leveled against him. Ogundeji, who represents Odibo Constituency 2 and member of the All Progressives Congress, was removed after 18 out of the 26 lawmakers had signed his removal, and the signature was received by the Speaker of the House, Bamidele Oloyelogun, during the session. Ogundeji was immediately replaced by Bimbo Fajolu, who represents Ile Oluji Igbo State Constituency in Ondo State. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned former Minister and immediate past Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Mukta Shagari, with 4 others before the Federal High Court in Sokoto on charges on money laundering. The defendants, who were brought to court by EFCC personnel, were alleged to have received the sum of $500 million out of $115 million from a minister of Petroleum Resources, Dezani Madueke, to manipulate and influence the 2015 general elections. Although arraigned with Shagari, our former Commissioner of Information, Ibrahim Gidado, younger brother of former Governor Atayiru Bafarawa, Nasiru Bafarawa, Sokoto State PDP Chairman Ibrahim Milgoma, and the People's Democratic Party candidate in the 2015 gubernatorial election, Senator Abdallah Wale. Subsequently, Justice Saleh Kogo ordered the defendants to be remanded at the police headquarters until May the 24th, when the bail application will be heard. Chairman of Ikoba Local Government Council Development Area in Edo State, Eric Osanyode, says dance is an important vehicle to propagate the culture of Edo people. Osanyode disclosed this at the inaugural ceremony of the Oba Eware Secondary School Cultural Dance Competition in Edo State, which saw several secondary school students showcase their cultural dance skills. Details in this report.
Chairman of Ikoba Oka Local Government Council, Honorable Eric Osayade, says dance is an important vehicle to propagate the culture of Edo people. Osayade disclosed these at the inaugural ceremony of the Oba Ewere Secondary School Cultural Dance Competition held in Edo State.
It is the inaugural dancing competition. It is the Tobaoka way of contributing to the complete education of an ID student. Because the Tobaoka local government area have looked at education from three perspectives, which have to do with the cognitive, the affective, and the psychomotor. The cultural aspect of it, we deduce, have been missing. This leads to a lot of students involving themselves in all forms of nefarious activities. The cultural competition is a way of building character. It's a way of going back to where we started from. It's a way of ensuring that an Edo girl dressed according to that recommendation by the Oba of Benin.
The week-long event, which is driven towards bringing back cultural values of Edo indigents, had several schools across the State Council participate. Nine schools qualified for the finals, with Ninja College emerging overall winner of the competition.
I'm very grateful. I just want to say thank you, because I would go and give thanksgiving to God, because the first time we go for the competition, we took first. The second time we took third, and today we took first again. So I'm just grateful. I want to say a big thank you to each and every one that organized this.
State Commissioner for Art and Culture, Osaze Osewinge Ero, lauded the initiative and stressed the need to revive the dying cultural heritage of Africa, a view corroborated by the representative of the Oba of Benin, His Royal Highness Osaigbofo Ogumbo.
This is inauguration of the competition of cultural club in secondary school. Please, let's clap for the chairman. This is a very good initiative. Mr. Chairman, you're a pace setter. You have started this, and I want to challenge other local governments to borrow a leaf from you to do this to promote our culture across the states. A few weeks ago, the ministry inaugurated culture clubs in secondary schools across the 18 local governments, telling them what culture is all about. Because the state government believe that without culture, we don't have an identity. The state government believes so much in getting the youth involved in our culture, and not just the adults, because once we get the youth, with what we are seeing here today, we are protecting and promoting our future.
This is the beginning of discipline. And when we are disciplined, we can get everything right. Even the oil and gas we are talking about, supposed to be a blessing, but it's a curse because we are not disciplined. But with this, we are going back to the good old days, where culture promotes discipline. And when we are disciplined, everything is right.
Cultural heritage is an important aspect of the history of Nigeria, and the intricate dance patterns seen from these students shows the future holds a lot for Nigeria.
Unknown gunmen have abducted the wife and children of a Commissioner of Youth and Sports and Skill Acquisition, Abdullahi Gorobin in Zamfara State. The commissioner, who confirmed the attack to journalists in Gusau, said the abductors took away his wife and 3 children and 3 other relatives. Gorobin said they have not yet demanded for any ransom as of yet. The Nigerian police force says it has arrested 2 gang leaders who had been declared wanted in connection with the April 2nd, 2018 multiple bank robbery attacks in Offa, Kwara State. The police public relations officer, Moshood Jimo, said the 2 leaders of the robbery gang who had confessed to their roles will be arraigned in court soon. The 2 suspects were identified as Kunle Ogunleye and Michael Adiku, a dismissed police corporal and a convict. The PRO urged the public to volunteer more information about other suspects at large, assuring that the safety of informants is guaranteed. Coming up, The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, retains 14% monetary policy rate. That's in business. Details after the break. Welcome back to Superscreen Flagship News, and now for some business stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN monetary policy has left the monetary policy rate unchanged at 14%. The CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, announced the decision of the committee at the end of a two-day meeting held at Apex Bank's headquarters in Abuja. Emefiele explained that 8 out of the 9 members of the committee that attended the meeting agreed to maintain the currency monetary policy stand. He said the other one member of the MPC voted that the rates be increased. The CBN governor also said apart from the MPR, which was retained at 14%, the committee also retained the cash reserves ratio at 22.5%. President Muhammadu Buhari has marked former President Olusegun Obasanjo for spending $16 billion on power projects during his tenure without corresponding power supply to Nigerians. The president disclosed this at the presidential villa Abuja while receiving members of the Buhari Support Organization led by the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Ahmed Ali. Buhari said a former Nigerian leader was bragging at a time that his administration spent the amount on power sector, yet there is nothing to show for the expenditure. You will recall that the House of Representatives had in 2008 described the $16 billion spent on power projects by the Obasanjo administration as a colossal waste. And now the federal government has announced that about 1.7 trillion naira will be invested by various stakeholders in the Niger Delta between this year and 2021. The special advisor on Niger Delta Affairs to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Charles Achodo, disclosed these at the 7th Sustainability in the Interactive Conference in Abuja. Achodo said the fund will be spent on the development of the region, adding that about 50 billion naira had been spent on payment of stipends to the ex-militants from the area. Still talking business, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has expressed concerns over Nigeria's capacity to repay its debt and stressed the need for the federal government to mobilize more revenues domestically. The Washington-based fund, at the public presentation of a spring 2018 issue of Regional Economic Outlook for Sub-Saharan Africa, said the public debt in the region is on the rise. The IMF Senior President Representative and Mission Chief for Nigeria, Amin Mati, said the number of countries in debt distress has increased from 6 to 8 in 2015 and from 10 in 2016 and 15 countries so far. The DMO Director General, Patience Oniha, in her remarks at the event, said the government is working aggressively to shore up all revenues as well as reduce borrowing costs in the country. Still ahead tonight, Turkey court sentences 104 persons to life imprisonment over attempt to overthrow constitutional order. That's on the foreign scene. Details of these and more after the break. Stay with us.